Welcome to Equal Entertainment. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. The Golden Globes nominations are here, and Barbie and Succession are leading the way. Succession leads the television category with 9 nominations. It's on the list for Best Drama, and several cast members are up for acting awards. Greta Gerwig's Barbie has the most nominations of any film with 9, followed by Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer with 8. For the LGBTQ+ community, Rustin has 2 nominations, All of Us Strangers has 1, Anatomy of a Fall received 3, and Nyad received 2. You can find the full list on out.com. The Golden Globe Awards takes place January 7th. We are weeks away from the show, and the Golden Globes still do not have a host. Chris Rock reportedly turned down an offer to host. So have Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean Hayes. The Golden Globes is still trying to recover from a 2021 LA Times report that documented a lack of Black members within the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The HFPA has disbanded. The Golden Globes is now being produced by Dick Clark Productions and Eldridge Industries. All 7 BTS members have now started their military service, but they plan to regroup once their service is complete. In South Korea, all able-bodied men between 18 and 35 are required to serve in the military for 18 to 21 months. The group's management says the band will likely reunite sometime in 2025. The new adaptation of The Color Purple is up for 2 Golden Globes. The movie had Hollywood decked out in various shades of purple for the Los Angeles premiere. The 2023 movie is based on the 2005 Broadway musical, which earned 10 Tony Award nominations. That came after the 1985 Steven Spielberg movie that was based on Alice Walker's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel. The all-star cast includes Fantasia Barrino, who played Celie on Broadway, and Danielle Brooks, who is nominated for a Golden Globe, and also Out 100 honoree Coleman Domingo.
People should see The Color Purple because it's a beautiful story of family and love and redemption and freedom. So go see it.
You have to see this movie because you have all of your favorites in it, and all of us need to be uplifted. We've had a really, really rough year, but there is hope at the end of the tunnel.
See The Color Purple because it's your duty. It's part of culture and it's part of history.
Because everybody's been down and everybody wants to know how to get back up. And this film is about being down but not staying down, finding a way to get back up.
It is a multi-generational reimagining, and I really believe that families will walk away with a profound appreciation for the concept of family itself.
It's an amazing telling of a story, an American story, based on one of the greatest novels in our canon. And what a cast, what a cast. I have predictions, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut so as not to ruin it.
I feel so grateful to be a part of this absolutely legendary, unforgettable moment.
Well, there's a line in the film and in the book that says, "Look what God has done." This feels like an example of what God has done. This story has been passed down, not only from the book to the film, to the musical, and now we get to do what we're doing here, which is, we feel like it's a part of a long line. It's about how do we move through trauma, how do we find hope in dark times, with our central character of Celie looking into her imagination, which is always the thing that helps you get through anything in your life. So I feel blessed and honored.
You may have seen Australian comedian and show creator Josh Thomas go viral. He's very funny, but his material speaks about his own experiences with neurodivergence. Thomas is on the road with his Let's Tidy Up tour, and he's holding nothing back.
First, I want to ask you about your history of tidying up. As a child, were you one of those kids who couldn't get their room in order, just messy closet, etc.?
Disgusting. I was a disgusting child. I'm a very clean adult. I always get so worried that people are going to hear me say this and think that I'm not clean. I shower so many times, compulsively now.
Mhm.
I was a gross kid. I was always dirty. I was covered in snot and stuff. Definitely if someone in class farted, everyone would have assumed it was me, right? I was the kid that you would assume. And I never had my stuff. I never had my swimmers or my homework. Twice in primary school, I forgot to wear shoes to school. And you would think, how is that possible? surely you know if you're wearing shoes or not. That's like a strong sensation. Like that's a reminder. Once when I was 19, I had to cancel a TV appearance because I forgot to wear shoes to the airport. And I either
Oh
packed
my
more
God.
wore shoes to call my agent and say they won't let me on. So I mean, I'm just like very bad at. I'm very bad at like keeping belongings.
Well, I think this is interesting and kind of goes to your body of work a little bit because in Everything's Gonna Be Okay, which was your really beautiful show on Freeform that touched on characters with autism and told some of their stories, uh, you kind of take on subjects around things that are difficult for some people that a huge chunk of the population considers easy to do.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so I would guess that tidying up is really fits into this kind of body of work where you're talking about the difficulty of doing something that someone else finds easy.
Really easy for lots of people. Yeah. Whereas I
Yeah.
can like definitely just go into a stand-up show and feel pretty chill about it. But if you wanted
Yeah.
me to like do the dishes, I just get overwhelmed with like anxiety.
All right, we'll come back to it. Well, Josh, you mentioned that it's about kind of in some ways about the last 6 years here in the
Mhm.
States. Would you go a little bit deeper into that?
I mean, I moved to America and I thought Americans and Australians were more similar, but you guys sound like a little weird to me actually. You're like more weird to me than I really expected you to be. Like I thought you guys always want me to be like excited and polite. And these are two things that I just am not, I can't do. And America's always screwing me over with like little bits of paper. Like you love to give me a piece of paper and be like, this piece of paper is very important. Like the first time someone gave me a check, I was like,
Uh-huh.
what are you talking about? We're not doing this anymore. I never seen a check in my life. You're gonna give me a voucher for like money. You have to go to the bank, like an
Right.
escape room, and
Mhm.
uh, and a title card, like title deeds. When I got my social security card, I wrote the number down and then I threw it out. Because what's the clue on the social security card that's precious? You just give it to me on
I know. No,
this
I
flimsy
know.
bit of card.
How's it going? How are people responding to Let's Tidy Up?
They're responding really well.
Yeah.
Americans are so sweet. They're so sweet. My show in
We're
Dallas
weird
went
but
for
sweet.
so sweet. I did this show in Dallas went for so long over time. I'm like so embarrassed by how long I was on that stage, but the audiences here, they'll just sort of yell out like supportive statements sometimes. They'll just say like, oh yes, or like John's cute, that's my dog. Or like well, one person yelled out, affirmation. And I'm used to people don't do that in Australia. They don't yell compliments at you. And every time I like hear an audience member, I kind of like I go into combat mode, like I think I'm a
Sure.
war.
Yeah.
And I'm not. That just and I think I meant to just keep talking and just sort of like not stop every time you guys. And I mean two standing ovations, which I
Aw.
don't think the show was that good. I think that was patronizing. But you can't tell them that as they're like standing up. It makes them feel bad. I learned that the hard way.
You can watch the Advocate channel live by downloading our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. For the Advocate channel, I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and thank you for watching.